Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and it's a little cold outside today, but we're having our Trump coffee, and we thought we'd go ahead and show this Challenger, part 2 of the unboxing review, and I'll show you some parts. But before we get started on the parts and doing the feet per second, I'm not real sure how to use this Caldwell chronograph yet. Still trying to figure it out. I may have to do the calculations separately because I'm not sure how to input the grain of the pellet and the caliber and stuff like that. So we're just going to show the feet per second, and if I have to, I'll have to calculate it manually and just put it in the bottom of the screen here. But before we get started, don't forget to have your Trump coffee. Again, if I said it, if I didn't. So in the meantime, let me show you what I've got going on here. Now, the barrel band is still in test mode. We're still trying to figure out the best way to make this, simply because I did a different design than what I did on the original Challenger. And this is a little crude right now. These here are required to be sanded, but this one here, this is just to give you a kind of an idea of what I'm working towards. And I'm printing one out right now that has the Picatinny rail on the bottom. The reason that I'm doing the Picatinny rail on the bottom is simply because the way this has to print, one side of this has to be laying on the bed, and the reason for that to be setting like that is because of these grooves. If I didn't have these grooves, I could have it setting like that. But because I have these grooves, if I was to set it like this, it would think all these here are 90-degree overhangs, which they are. So it would not be able to print all the way across that, because that hole goes all the way through, as you can see. So we have to get creative in how we're going to set this on the bed in order to print it. Now, if I was to print it like that, this thing would almost be perfect, except for this little spot right here. There'd be a little line right there where it just kind of drooped a little bit, but it would print okay. Then the only thing I would have to do would be to just file that out, and then this barrel band would be near perfect. So that's the barrel band that we're working on. Then we did a shot tray for this, and I put on the front of it 35 caliber, 45 caliber, and 50 caliber. And then on this side I put Challenger. So this fits all three of them. The barrel band, however, only fits the 45 and the 50. Until I get a 30 cal or 35 cal, I'm not going to have a barrel band for that. So this is the new shot tray. You got your indent on the bottom for your ball. So when you slide it in, that ball goes right up in that hole, and this thing fits really nice. I'm actually proud of this one. So we're going to go ahead and do the shot test, and we're just going to load this single load instead of using the magazine. So we'll get set up here and get you in front of the chronograph screen on my cell phone and see how it works out. So we're going to do shot number 1. Loading it into the gun right now. I do not like that safety. Trying to set my bipod. Alright. Back up here. Shot number 1. $781 foot-pound, or foot-pounds. 781 feet per second. Shot number 1. Shot number 2. $810. Shot number 3. And we're shooting 220 grain. $866. Shot number 4. $896. And the last shot, $927. Man, that thing's loud. My ears are ringing. Alright. Yeah, my ears are ringing. So, now we're going to do the trigger pull test, and we're only going to do one trigger pull test because we don't really need to do any more than that. For the simple reason it's just too loud and it's in here. So, let's go ahead and cock this. And this thing's hard to pull too. £5. Yeah, it's a hard trigger. £5 trigger. Whew. Now let's do a sound. And it's probably going to be a little louder since it's inside, because I'm just shooting out my sliding glass door. So I'm going to set it here, and we're going to see what it says. $87. Phew. That thing's loud. 87 on the screen. If you don't believe me, get out of here. I ain't got no reason to lie to you guys. But I think this goes off by itself. Man, that thing's got some kick to it. And right now I've got one of these barrel clamps on it temporarily, just because I didn't have no way to hold it up. And as you can see, the shot tray fits in it really nice. And then we've got the barrel band that, like I said, this is the very first, well, this is actually the third try printing it out, and I'm just trying to get it to where this will print out nice and pretty on the outside of it. And right now I'm doing a test on the 3D printer right now with a Picatinny rail. Now this Picatinny rail on this is not for a bipod. I repeat, is not for a bipod. If you put a bipod on it, it's your problem. You break it, you buy another one. These are for flashlights only, or red dots, and that's it. And we just slide it on there. And you can put that in any location you want. I believe that the best location is around about 2 to 3 inches from the end, because we know this part back here is supported. So I think that looks pretty cool. And imagine a Picatinny rail on the bottom for a red dot or flashlight. So when I was shooting, I put all the numbers down at the bottom on the pellet size. Until I can figure out how to use this Caldwell, I'm going to have to do that. I'd like for this thing to show me the foot-pounds of energy so that I don't have to calculate that and put it in separately. So if anybody knows how to do that, email me. I'll give you my phone number, or if you will, walk me through how to set this up. Of course, by then I might have already YouTubed it to figure it out. I just now realized that I could have done that, but I didn't. So, but anyway, that's the second part of the Challenger, the new Challenger 45. What a beast of a gun. Now, let me talk something about these clamps. These clamps, I'm no big fan of clamps, period. Simply because they will turn side to side. And I've got that pretty tight. And you're just not going to get a clamp that's not going to move side to side. I don't care how tight you put those, they are not going to stay in one spot. They're always going to turn side to side, simply because of the design. Yeah, they're okay when you're on the bench and you're not moving around, but there's people out there that will set their gun down there like that, and and they'll do this, and they'll twist and twist the gun. Well, it's going to turn side to side, and yes, that will mar up your tank. So you don't want to do that very much. Now, if you don't want that thing to move, you're probably going to have to put some kind of a two-sided tape or some kind of something that will squeeze in it and hold it in place. I'm not sure how you're going to take care of that problem other than getting a barrel band that will handle it. My barrel bands are not designed for bipods simply because they are 3D printed in plastic, PLA. So they would work fine for me. I wouldn't have a problem putting a bipod on my barrel band because I don't go twisting my gun around. You know, people take my barrel bands and put them on there, and then they put a bipod on it, and then they start doing this number, twisting it. Well, sure, that's going to break it. Depending on your surface. My surface has got a towel on it or a blanket, so it actually kind of turns with it. But unless you've got a swivel bipod, using my barrel bands for a bipod is asinine. But there's my review on the Challenger 45 cal, and it's definitely got some kick to it. I like it shooting wise, but to carry that thing, it's pretty heavy. As you seen in the last video, part 1, that's a pretty heavy gun. So let me save that. That way I can go back and look at it. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you still haven't had your Trump coffee, shame on you. You guys have a good one. Later.